Hello and welcome to this very first English episode of Sabbatical Journey. Today, I'm joined by Brittany, aka Britt, my travel acolyte during my sabbatical. Together, we talk about what it really means to travel solo and the benefits of allowing yourself to take a pause in your career. So get comfortable with your warm drink, your favorite blanket, or just enjoy the silence. Take a deep breath. Let's begin. Hey, welcome, Britt, to the Sabbatical Journey.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining. Who are you? How would you introduce yourself to the audience?
Well, hi, everyone. I am Brittany, aka Whimsically Britt. I'm a travel blogger / planner / content creator. All things travel. I enjoy and aspire to inspire others to, take that leap to, go where they want to go, whether it's solo or, planning a trip with your friends, family, whoever. So yeah, I'm from New York. I'm a millennial. I'm a Black woman, and I solo traveled for 9 months around Asia.
Woof woof. Why did you take that leap to go solo travel for 9 months in Southeast Asia? Where did it come from?
Oh boy. So I'd actually say that this seed was kind of planted in my head many years prior. So it was definitely when I was working in the corporate environment at the first company I was working. Mm-hmm. And this man, he had returned from his solo travels. He solo traveled for many months. And he was sharing all his photos and everything he did. And now he's back in the workforce. And that was the first time I thought, oh, you can just, stop working and just travel,
and do whatever you want for a period of time.
Free will.
Freedom.
So
being my own boss. What?
Exactly, right? So I'm like, this is okay. So that was the very first time I, entertained the idea. And then I kind of kept meeting people who had done the same, mm-hmm. whether it was in the corporate world or they were freelancers and such. So that's when I really started to think about life outside of just this 9 to 5 bubble. And so it was actually in, I think maybe 2019 that I had just formulated this plan to save up some money and start traveling Asia in 2020. Wanted to travel in 2020. Haha, joke's on me. Right. So, once I had moved out of my apartment, the very next month, the world shut down. So, 2 years later, I was still here in New York. I was working a different job at a different company, making more money, which is, fabulous. So I was able to at least save that money. And I kind of went back and forth with the idea of whether I still wanted to do the whole backpacking thing at that point, because, it had been two years since the idea. And, I'm starting this new career path. Ultimately, I just decided, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. Right. I just kept thinking about it. And I'm like, I'm only getting older. And, if I want to, start my life or settle down somewhere, this is something I have to do first. So
yeah,
that's where I am now.
But our path is similar yet different, because I took a sabbatical, but you took a gap year. Why? Because from what I understood, you had the opportunity, but you chose otherwise. Can you explain why?
So maybe France and US might be different, or it really depends on the companies here, whether they even offer a sabbatical. At the last company I was working, you had to work there for 5 years in order to take off for 3 months, a 3-month sabbatical. So I had only been there. By the time that I was thinking about leaving, I had been there maybe 2.5, 3 years. And I was like, I'm not waiting another 2 years to do this.
Definitely not.
I was still
only 3 months.
What?
For 3 only months. 3 months.
Yeah, exactly. So it wasn't worth it at that time. I think if I was a little younger, Like if I was 25 at the time and I'm like, all right, by the time I'm 30, I can take 3 months or whatever. But at that point, I think I would have had to stay. I would have started traveling in like 2027 and for 3 months. So yeah.
Oh no.
It really wasn't the route for me. So the only thing I could do was just save up quietly and, put in my resignation and make sure I had that comfortable cushion. So not just the expenses I thought I would need, but just some extra for, when I return and trying to get my life sorted. So.
Oh, so you quit your job then. So you did not have the security after your 9 months.
No security. The only security was, in my head thinking, you know what, if I made it this far once, I can do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2, just seeing, many others around me, go through layoffs or, leaving their jobs or just, going to live abroad in Asia. If all these other people can figure it out, I'm like, I'll figure it out eventually. And I have family to fall back on at the very worst case. So
definitely. Yeah, I agree. And why Southeast Asia?
Southeast Asia, because so in 2017, I had visited Japan for the first time with a cousin and some of her friends. And, Japan. I
love Japan, girl. I've been 3 times, so I love Japan.
Yes. See? So, once you've been to Japan, I'm like, wow, that was like the most, their society functioned the most differently than I've ever seen,
Agreed.
From any like Western, country.
Definitely.
So I was just very curious about like what else, what other countries in Southeast Asia had to offer. And, I just wanted to plan that as one trip so that, I could be in that one time zone area and really enjoy my time and immerse myself, rather than, having to travel back and forth from the US because, jet lag is a killer. So, I don't want to take 4 trips a year to, Asia and every time be, tired for half of the trip.
True. So where did you go for 9 months?
Oof. I traveled around 12 official countries. Started so on the way over there, I actually stopped in Finland with some friends to do like a Northern Lights tour / like the Santa Claus Village in Rovaniemi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So started with that. Then I hopped over to India where I have a friend who was living in Kolkata. Stayed with her for 2 weeks and left all my winter clothes with her. And then I started the true solo trip in Malaysia where I met you. Right. So Malaysia, Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Philippines, Australia, Singapore. I went back to India, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Korea, Japan, China, back to India, and then back here. Oh, and then I also had layovers on the way here in Abu Dhabi and Qatar on the way here and Abu Dhabi on the way back.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, now you have me thinking about it again and I'm exhausted all over again.
I agree, because at first I think people don't understand. They really think that, oh my God, you're so lucky you're traveling for so long, but they actually don't realize how exhausting it is.
Extremely. And everyone told me that it would be exhausting and I'm just like, nah, I'm built different. I am different. You don't travel like me, no.
And then you go somewhere for 2 days, even 3 days straight, you don't do anything. You're just like, oh no.
Yeah. Like, I've met people in the past, like solo travelers who are backpacking and they're in the hostels and they're laying in their room all day. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? How could you be here in your room all day when there's so much to see? But I totally get it now. I've seen this many more occasions than I would have thought.
Sometimes you just can't. Your body is telling you to stop. Your body is telling you to reset and rest. It happened to me so many times, and I couldn't just not get out of bed. Or just to eat, take a shower, have a little walk.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
a lot
it.
of exhaustion, not even just from the traveling itself. It's a mental load from, constantly having to plan your next move, plan, where you're going to stay, adjusting when you go to different countries. Now there's a new language, there's a new currency. You have to, think in your head now, what does this convert to in my currency? You're adjusting for that. You're adjusting to like transportation. All the transportation systems work different. This one uses a tap card. This one doesn't take cash. This one only takes cash. This one you have to buy the ticket in the station. This one
You can
it's
pay
like a lot.
in the train. Sometimes you can just tap.
Yes.
Sometimes you cannot. So oh no, you need to adjust all the time. You need to be agile.
Yes.
In the
exactly.
long run.
And the food, even the food, you're not familiar with the food. It's like, and it's in another language. You have to use like the translate.
Yeah, Google Translate all the time. Yeah, it's offline because sometimes you don't have Wi-Fi, or sometimes you do have an eSIM, but for some reason you're out of it. You forgot to top up, and there's thank God you have Google Translate offline.
It's constant troubleshooting. It's your brain. It's constantly you can't. This is what I used to say, like, you can't ever really be on autopilot.
No, true.
At home.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't, like, you're always constant. Everything you read, even trying to wash clothes, it's like I have to translate this. Well, I translate. Is this fabric softener or is this
softener or
or is this the laundry detergent? What is this liquid I'm picking up?
True.
Like I said, decision fatigue, constant like mental load. That was probably even worse than the actual moving around.
I agree. But when exactly did you start your solo trip then? Because you said you started in Finland with friends, then you went to India, so you were still with a friend.
Yes.
And then Malaysia.
So, solo, I think that was like November 20th. I think is when I landed in Malaysia, I want to say. So yeah, that was like the first like, oh wow, this is it. Like
you're doing it for real.
Yes, for real.
You are on your own.
Like no one to fall back on. This is it. So,
do you remember how we met? Now I'm thinking.
Like before we met in person, or
like when did we start talking? Just this. When did we start talking and have the idea to meet?
Oh, well, okay. So we connected on Instagram. I remember through another travel vlogger, Kiana.
Oh yeah, true.
You, wonderfully _you. She's amazing. And I think I went to one of her. She had like this creator session thing going on, and she brought you up to me at some point. So I reached out to you, like, hey, I heard you're going on a sabbatical, and I'm looking forward to following your journey and learning anything you have to share. So yeah, that's how we connected. I think that was back. When I looked at my messages, it was back in May 2024.
That was two months before my sabbatical, because I started my sabbatical in July 2024.
Yes, you were just about to start. Yes.
And in May, I went to Uzbekistan.
Ah.
Yeah.
It was a group trip?
Yeah, it was a group trip. I do solo travel. I've been solo traveling for quite some time. I would say over between 8-10 years now. Wow. And I just know that there are some places that I don't know. So I would rather go in a group trip first to assess the terrain. Then maybe I'll go solo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
So this is what I did.
A couple places in mind.
Yeah. So for Central Asia, Uzbekistan was the first country. And I've shared that story already, but I did not feel comfortable. Neither. Yeah. I didn't feel comfortable, neither safe, to be honest. Always looking over my shoulder. So
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, so that's why I went to Kyrgyzstan on a group trip as well. But the
Okay.
feeling was different. I did not feel uncomfortable there.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you think you could have done that solo?
Solo, no,
Okay.
because it's quite complicated. You need to drive long distances. You need to plan ahead. And I actually realized that I'm not a tab B, like tab A planner, but more like a tab B one. I thought I would tab A, like for real. I really thought I was, but
No, you don't enjoy like the spreadsheets and
No, but
planning every hour.
that's it. I'm a project manager, so I do plan things. I do have a strict timeline that you have to follow. But when it comes to planning my own trips, oh Lord. I do plan for others. I do plan for work. I do plan for others. I am a travel planner, so I do plan for other people, and I'm even paid for that. But when it
Nice.
comes to myself, girl, I go with the flow. I will do my research. That's what I tell people. I do my research, the basics to survive, But then, let's see.
What happens when you get
Let's
there? Or like
see.
have a general idea.
Yeah, I have a general idea. I'm like, oh, maybe these activities, some activities you need to book in advance for. If I really want to do them, I'll book. That's stupid, I'm like, I'll do those. I want to do those activities, so I'll book ahead. But otherwise, I'm like, oh, let's chill.
Yeah. I think that's a better way to, especially when you're doing like long-term or slow travel, that's a better way to do it anyway, because then you might want to change, you want to change your mind. I made a mistake like in the very beginning with that. Like I booked a flight. Let's see. When I was in India, I booked a flight from Singapore to Phuket because I knew I was meeting my cousin in Phuket at the beginning of December. So I was like, all right, I'll be in Malaysia mid-November, and at some point I'll make it down to Singapore and I'll just fly to Phuket. That flight was like $100 too. So I was like, oh, it's real cheap. Let me just buy it now. Then when I started to learn more about Malaysia, I was like, actually, I think I just want to let me ride up through Ipoh and Penang. And Penang's actually right next to Phuket, an even shorter flight, an even cheaper flight. I couldn't cancel my Singapore flight, unfortunately. So I just took that loss and I just booked, I booked a new flight out of Penang to Phuket. So that was my first travel blunder of, when you plan too far ahead. So, it's good to be that type B, I think, when you're doing such a long, slow journey the way that you did and we did.
Well, I think it's good to be a mix of both from time to time. It depends. I think it depends on the country as well.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Thailand, I was definitely a type B. Even type C. Even type C. Even type C. You plan everything. I was just following along. For some reason. I think I don't even remember if you booked the hostel thingy in Bangkok or if I did, but it was well located. I think you found it for sure. That was you. I think you planned it. I was like, I think you did.
I mean, at that point, you were also traveling for a while, so I can understand that fatigue setting in.
I was traveling for. Yeah, I was like, oh,
someone else can take the lead finally.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, you're planning it? Oh, nice. But then same for New Zealand. I met randomly this German girl, Mia, if you're listening to me, in Vietnam. So we were both going to Sapa. So we were waiting for a bus, our night bus, the VIP bus. And we were leaving at the same time with two different companies. And I thought I would never see her again. We just exchanged our WhatsApp numbers because we were going to New Zealand in January. And then, so I arrived to Sapa. I booked an activity on Get Your Guide. And guess who I meet? Mia. So we were like, oh, so we spent the day in the rice fields in Sapa in northern Vietnam. And we were like, okay, so we spend the day together. We get along. So traveling to New Zealand together for a month. It would work. So let's do that. So she planned everything. She was like, oh, I booked my tickets. So we did it with the Kiwi Experience. It's a company that has everything figured out already. So you just book the itinerary that you want to do, either in the north, in the south, or a bit of both. And you pay, and then you just hop on the bus and you do all the activities that you want. It is expensive, but you do have the peace of mind. Because
peace of mind.
Yes, girl, this is it. I always tell my audience, I cherish my inner peace, and having peace of mind is such a luxury that I would pay for.
I'm totally with you. At one point, I think it was due to this solo travel journey is that I've come this way now, where peace of mind is almost top of mind for me.
Right.
Because, I was very DIY. I am very type A.
You are.
So I don't like, even when I met you, I think you were like, yeah. At one point I think we were going from Chiang Mai to Bangkok.
Yes.
And like, oh, we can take a bus. And I was like,
you were so skeptical. No. You were so skeptical. You were like, what now? I'm like, yeah, let's take a night bus. Take a night what?
What about this? What about my bag? But what about how long is it going to take? Is it going to be comfortable? I think I'd rather just fly. Like I'll just spend a little like.
And I told you, no worries. You can do whatever you want. We'll meet there.
Yeah.
I'll take the bus. I'm not paying for a plane ticket. You do you, I do me, and let's see.
We'll meet there and see what happens.
We'll meet there. And then you followed along.
I did, and it worked out. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. I trust this girl. I see what she's doing. Let me chill.
So you went out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
See? Taking the bus, putting your stuff in the trunk, everything worked out perfectly. You did not lose anything. Fine.
Surprisingly, the only thing I lost on my entire trip was a pair of glasses.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Very good. If you know me, if anybody who knows me and is listening, yeah, they would be shocked. Like, that's the only thing you lost?
Yeah. Oh, my. Oh, wow. And what, for you, when you take a step back, what are the benefits of taking a long journey like this, solo traveling, like 9 months solo traveling on a gap year? What are the benefits now for you?
Well, yeah, first benefit, I know it sounds like cliche, but it's like really learning myself, learning the things that I'm capable of, being acceptant, or having an acceptance, or like, how can I say, just knowing what I want and what I like and what I don't want, what I don't like. And, sometimes I feel like there's a pressure to feel like you have to travel a certain way. And there's like only one right way to travel. And you should have this same experience that other people have had. And you should feel a certain way. You should feel enlightened. You should have like this whole enlightenment epiphany or something. And yeah, it's just, it's your own journey, and you have to, just remove that pressure and just like enjoy it for what it is, and really try to understand what the takeaways are and really understand yourself, because then, you just become a lot more comfortable. Like right now, so like I'm not working in corporate America right now. I'm actually working like a part-time job, right? At a, like in how can I say, without giving it away. I work part-time and I have like customers, let's say retail, sort of a retail experience. It's not corporate America. It's definitely not making as much money, but I enjoy going to work.
Yeah.
Like not the actual, like, because it's really cold out and I don't have a car. It's hard physically getting to and from work. But like when I'm there, I enjoy my coworkers. They're young, they're funny, they're cool. I get to talk to different customers. Everybody's there to enjoy themselves. I get to troubleshoot different things. Things kind of break down every now and then. And, there are different issues to solve every day, quote unquote issues. But, like when I'm there at work, I come home, I'm not thinking about work. And, it just feels easy, and it's pretty flexible too, because it's a part-time thing. I don't have like vacation days. I don't get paid time off, but like if I'm not going to be in next week, I will just, let them know I'm not coming in, because they can just put somebody else on the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because, I haven't worked in this manner before. So that's like one takeaway, is kind of like a corporate environment. And while I do think I want to go back to the corporate environment eventually, I can still, find value and purpose in whatever I'm doing at the moment.
Wow.
So that's one big takeaway. Another one is that, I really love my family and miss them more than I expected I would.
Girl, same. When I saw my parents again, I was like,
I know you.
I was just so happy. I was so happy to be with them. Oh my God. I acted like a little princess for like a month.
Oh yeah, as you should.
4 months. Yeah.
So family's so important. So even now when I think about like my next steps, where I want to live, I'm thinking if it's in the US, I want to live near my family. So most of them are here in New York. I'm not interested in, starting over in California or Texas or anywhere else. Otherwise, I definitely would love to like live in Europe, live and work in Europe. That's always been something I've wanted to do. I've had friends who've gotten to travel there for work and such. So that's always kind of been on my dream bucket list.
Oh, nice.
I'll just start anew. Yeah, it's going to be over in Europe. So
I'm clearly not the best example, because I just told you, oh, I miss my family. I acted like a princess for a month, and look at me now. I mean,
where is my family again?
But nuance, it's not far from Paris. You just take the train, and in 3 hours and a half, I can see them.
How long? 2.5?
3.5 hours. I would say, by train.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah, in 3.5 hours, I'm in Paris, easy peasy. Then I can spend time with my family. So
that's a healthy distance, I think.
Right?
That's good. That's far enough, but close enough at the same time,
So it's perfect, and they can come visit. So it's easy. Yeah, I'm not recommending taking the plane, because 3 hour and a half.
That's enough. Yeah, you don't need a train for that.
So the train, I highly recommend the train. Yeah, to do that. So, but yeah, I live in Amsterdam now, living my best life, my expat life. Is a work-life balance on point, girl. Bar fitness on Monday, bar fitness on Wednesday, more than jazz on Saturday, Smite Tawi bi-weekly, girl.
That's the other thing. Another takeaway, right, is like routine.
Yes. Like, I missed that during the 9 months. And it's interesting, because this is something escaping is not the word, but you're trying to go away from. You're really trying to avoid the routine when you take the decision of leaving and traveling for so long. But then net, and at the end of the journey, you realize that this is something that you actually cherish, that you're actually looking for. Just not in the same environment, but still you're looking for it.
Yeah, it's that appreciation you get for, routine, your home, maybe home life, your family, like being away, even like the simple stuff, like I mentioned before, just how hard it was just to adjust in new environments every time. You really develop an appreciation for things being easy and on autopilot. And, there's nothing wrong with having a nice routine life, especially after you've gotten to live the other side. I feel like the biggest mistake is like not trying and not doing it, because then you're always wondering, and you're always,
yes, the what
fawning
if.
for it. You're like, if only I could quit my job and do this, I would be happy. But
maybe not. But try.
Maybe not.
But try.
Exactly.
Try first. Try. Learn. Come back and adjust.
Agreed.
But don't live in regret, saying, "I wish I had done that." What if? Yeah.
Because honestly, no matter what, like I said, I'm working, part-time, hourly, not nearly as much money as my corporate job, but I don't regret it at all. There's not one bit of me that says, "Oh, I should have stayed at that job." Like, none.
Yeah. What next for us then?
Sure. For us?
Yes, I'm just saying what next, because I think we're agreeing on the benefits. We had our own journey. We learned so much. You're a blogger, I'm a blogger. You're a travel content creator, so am I. So am I.
I think next.
What next? I think we had something in mind, and I think we can tell them now.
Okay, so that's where we're going. Good. So yeah, what's next?
I think we should.
Say again.
I think we should tell them.
Oh yes. So I think we should share our experience. We have the expertise, we have the experience, and we want to share this in the form of a solo travel guide.
Yes. Yes. You guys, we were working on this for quite some time, and we really wanted to share with you our experience, our story, and help you guys to take the leap of solo traveling, because it's not easy. I can understand, and you need to start small. Because it's okay if you don't start traveling solo in Japan. When was your first trip? Your solo trip? When was it? Still in the US, or did you go somewhere else?
My first solo trip was in the US, actually. Yes. So it was to Portland, Oregon. Across the country. But still
yeah. Okay. My first solo trip, like solo trip, I think it's not even it's okay if you don't do like me, right? You can I'm not the best example.
Where did you go?
I went to Hong Kong.
Wow.
I went to Hong Kong. Yes, my first solo trip was it was to Hong Kong, because my friend, Melanie, she's in Hong Kong, and yes, it was right maybe 2 years after graduation, we went. Well, I'll say I went to visit her in Hong Kong, and that same year I went to visit another friend in Japan.
Wow, those are two. So would you say Hong Kong was difficult, or
Actually, it wasn't that difficult. I think it was pretty smooth.
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah. People speak English, but not that much. Yet I manage. I feel like your brain, whenever it's in survival mode, you need to make it work.
Yeah.
So on the get-go, and voila.
Voila. Here we are. We made it. We're still alive. Look at us.
Look at us. So yeah, 2017 was my this is where my solo travel trips kick-started. Yeah. Nice. So yeah.
2017, good year. That was my first time going to Japan as well. 2017.
2017. This is when I had my first kind of burnout as well. That's why I solo traveled.
Okay.
So yeah, I had to do something. So see? All makes sense now. Yeah. When you take a step back, you're like, oh, that's why. Oh. So yeah. So you guys, we worked on this solo travel guide for you, explaining our stories, what we experienced, countries where we felt comfortable or uncomfortable, and why. And obviously, our experience is not universal. You need to experience on your own. But yeah, this is what it is.
Plus, many helpful tips for you as a traveler, right? So if this is your first time traveling, we'll explain all the different things that you need to think about when planning your first solo trip. And trust me, there are a lot of details. So it's not, I mean, you could just pick up and go if you want.
You can.
It's that way.
People do that sometimes. But if you need reassurance, just imagine we're just your big sisters and we're holding your hand with this solo travel guide.
Exactly.
We're by your side every step of the way. So if this is what you need to be reassured, this guide is for you. And it's okay to be type A or type B or a mix of both, because this is what we are.
Yes.
We are type A and type B all at once. I'm more like a type C sometimes, but that's okay. Ay. Yes. Well, we will put everything in the description of this episode. You can find Britt on Instagram, her blog as well, the travel guide as well. Check her out. She's amazing.
Oh, thanks so much.
Thank you for joining the episode, Britt. This is the first episode in English. Yay! First episode in English, because my audience was most. I think now most of them are French speakers, but at the beginning, they were English speakers. Yeah, remember? Yeah, because I switched my strategy now. I speak French.
Right, I remember.
Yeah, because the Sabbatical is under the French law, so that's why I changed gear. But yeah, I still have some English speakers in my audience. So yeah.
Fun fact: learning French now too. Well, I've learned French in the past in school for like 6 years. So, but I'm taking it seriously now. So, j'apprends français.
Yeah, little by little, my friend. Well, thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me once again. I'm honored to be here, and I'm happy to share, and
Super.
You have me back anytime.
Yay! Britt will come back. Britt will return. Kisses. Bye-bye.
Bye.